Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragonfly Engineering. So it's been a couple weeks since we did an episode here, but it's not for lack of activity. It's been actually super busy around here. But I did have a little bit of a snafu in the shop, or not in the shop, but with the business. And it involves this pottery kiln. So this pottery kiln I've had in my garage for years now. And I use it mostly for heat treating metal or other activities, and a new venture that we'll get into here in a second. But I also had to move it out of the garage because another activity with the show is a series where I'm going to be rebuilding the garage and adding on to the back. Anyway, so I was in a kind of a hurry to get this out of there, and I wound up attempting to move this kiln by myself. You know, because
I'm not a smart man.
so yeah, I basically had to get down like a sumo wrestler was about to launch and grab both handles like this. And then I picked this whole thing up, which I don't know, it probably weighs 150 pounds with my body extended and kind of just a very poor posture for lifting. And that wound up the next day I felt this weird feeling in my lower belly. And soon realized that I gave myself a hernia the day before when I moved this thing into the shop. So it took like a day for I guess, whatever happened to happen. So I wound up calling a doctor and getting an appointment. And then 2 days later, I was in a hospital getting outpatient surgery from a robot. There's a plane flying over, so let's pause. As far as there was really not much pain involved, even with the hernia. It was more of just like if you imagine hitting your funny bone on your elbow, I felt that every time I would stand up or sit down or cough or anything like that. But anyway, the operation was outpatient, so it was pretty easy. It was pretty neat too. When they were rolling me into the operating room, I asked if I could get off the gurney and check out the robot, but they wouldn't let me get off the gurney, and they were busy sticking the anesthesia gas on my face to shut me up, basically. And then I woke up in recovery, and everything was fixed. So they basically used this robot with endoscopic appendages and a camera. So they basically cut 3 holes in my belly. One was where the camera went down in the center part, and then these 2 kind of micro grippers attached to this robot kind of went in and did the mesh repair. So they actually stuck this plastic mesh inside and kind of rebuilt everything from the inside, which is a little freaky, but also interesting at the same time.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
And the cool thing is this robot, which is made by a company called Intuitive Surgical, is called the Da Vinci line of robots, but I think this one was the Da Vinci 2 robot. And it's actually made right here next door to me in Sunnyvale, California. So that was kind of neat. I actually have an acquaintance who works at Intuitive Surgical. And then that was it. And then it took about 3 weeks for me to recover. And but now, 5 weeks later, I can fully lift things. But I am not going to try to move this kiln by itself anymore. Yeah, so one of the new things that I want to do with this kiln in the shop is start doing in-house powder coating. And I was actually inspired by Blondie Hacks. She actually got a smaller powder coating gun and showed how she did it when she was working on her Model train, I believe. So I was inspired by that. So I got a powder coating system as well, and I'm recommissioning this kiln to actually bake the powder coat at like 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's take a look. I'll open this thing up and we can see what's inside. So yeah, you just basically just pull the lid open like this. This is all fire center brick. And then there's like a latch over here. And yeah, it's basically just a coil of nichrome wire, basically all the way around. And then down inside, there's a temperature sensor. And here's the temperature sensor right there. So prior to the realization of the need for surgery, I did do a test part with the powder coating system, and I powder coated this wrench, this metric wrench blue. So yeah, and it's actually a really good finish and extremely robust finish too. I've had this rattling around in my wrench drawer for a while, and I've actually tried abrading it, and I've used it a couple times. And this powder coating, it stays on this metal. It does not come off easy at all. So it's a really nice uniform coating as well. And yeah, there's a little bit of blue remnant here from where we hung the wrench. A friend of mine and I played around with this about a month ago. So we hung the wrench here in this kiln, and like 30 minutes later, at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, it was completely baked on and permanent, and it's a really nice coating. The powder coater is this guy over here, which basically, if you don't know how powder coating works, you electrify the powder that comes out of this gun here. There's like a siphon and a bucket in the back, and then this gun basically blows electrostatic powder out, and you ground the item that you want to coat, and then the charged powder actually coats the metal until basically it conformally coats it as a function of the electric field that you impart into the powder itself, or the static charge will kind of determine the thickness and uniformity of the coating of your item. So we'll talk more about this one in future episodes because I'm still learning it, since I had a little bit of a distraction, but it did work, and I think it's going to work great. It is from Viver, but they're not a sponsor or anything like that. It just seemed like a good deal to get, and it worked, so I'm kind of happy with it. So after my bout with getting a robot to fix me up from this hernia from lifting this freaking kiln, I kind of had a realization that I should probably upgrade my stock handling equipment. Like for instance, not trying to lift this thing, something like this kiln anymore. And I do also have that I've used in the past, a manual forklift, which you may have seen in a few episodes. I can show you a picture of it back there, which basically is basically like a really high lifting pallet jack. Supposedly it would lift 2,000 pounds up to 52 inches. And I would be trying to move what's called a gaylord around, which is basically a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot cube of plastic. I can show you one in a second here. And that weighs about 1,600 pounds, depending on the plastic that's in it. But it sits on a pallet, and it's this super thick-walled cardboard mega box that is 5 foot cubed. And the kind of the manually operated forklift that I bought for, I don't know, I think it was like $1,500. It would lift 2,000 pounds, but at the top of the throw, it would kind of start wanting to bend forward. And I was in a situation once where I was trying to load a Gaylord onto a rack. Again, I'll show you here in a second. And the foot-operated kind of manual forklift did lift up the Gaylord, but it was leaning forward so much that it didn't lift it the full 52 inches that it claimed it would. And then basically I was worried that the Gaylord of plastic was it was basically resting against the shelf, but it didn't quite get over the ledge of the shelf. And the whole forklift was bending forward, and I was worried that I was stuck there because the Gaylord was leaning against the shelving. I couldn't lift it enough to get the edge over onto the shelf, and I was worried that if I backed up, the Gaylord would slide off of the end of the forks, and then I'd have a disaster. So all of that, plus the hernia, I decided to start shopping for a forklift. And I found one on a local auction, also in Sunnyvale, as it turns out. And I bid on the forklift, well, let me digress. So on the ad, the forklift is a battery-powered forklift. And usually, in my experience, if there's a forklift for sale, the battery pack, which is basically like a 4 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot solid cube of lead acid batteries, like huge truck batteries, it's just stacked up in this big, massive battery. that also weighs about 1,500 pounds. Usually those batteries are dead, and you need to buy a new battery pack, which is like $4,000. So when I looked at the auction, I only bid, I think, a reserve of like $3,000 with the intention that, well, I'm going to have to buy a new battery pack for it anyway. I would have preferred a propane fired forklift, because that way you don't have to deal with batteries dying, but you're constantly having to go and buy more propane. So I guess there's trade-offs for both style: electric forklift versus a propane burning forklift, with an actual engine inside of it. So back to the auction, I only bid a maximum of like $3,000, and then as well as I bid on some other things, which actually turned out to be quite fortuitous for me. But the day of the auction, I almost missed it actually, but it was a telecast on the internet, and the guy was going on about doing his auctioneer talk. And when he came up to the forklift, he did tell everyone on the auction telecast that the forklift would be a late pickup, because normally with these auctions, it's a company. In this case, it was a tech startup, the typical Silicon Valley startup that ran out of money. When they run out of money, they want everything out of the building because they got to close, and the landlord doesn't want them to be there past the end of their lease or whatever. So what happens is, in an auction like that, the auctioneer will say that the forklift needs to be picked up a week later, after everyone else has to show up the next day and get their stuff that they won, or pay and get their stuff. And they do that so that basically they can use the forklift at the company that someone actually bought and owns, but there's a delayed pickup, and they use your forklift to go and load everyone else's stuff as they're clearing out the company. So when I heard the auctioneer say late pickup on the forklift, I was like, oh, this forklift actually works, because why would he say late pickup if the thing doesn't work? They're intending to use it to load everyone else's truck for all the other stuff that they were selling in this auction. So I decided to bump up the bid, and and I won, basically. I won this forklift over here. And there it is. And I'll have to explain why there's crap everywhere in this warehouse right now, which is kind of an interesting story. But anyway, this is a 8,000-pound capacity electric forklift with side shift and standard forks and all of that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to get this thing, because now I can lift these Gaylords, which is that cardboard box, which is full of solid plastic, or plastic pellets, up onto these racks over here that you see in the background. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this acquisition. So I can tell you about the process of what happened after I actually won this forklift. And we can move over there. Yeah, and this is a Heister. I didn't mention that earlier. Battery-powered forklift. So, and it works. But there was a little bit of confusion and concern after I actually won this forklift. On the day to pick up the other items that I won, which was a decent amount, and that explains why this warehouse is so full. But that's another story I'll get into here in a second. But I asked the guy who's in charge of clearing out the place, basically fulfilling the pickup and payments of all of the lots for the auction. I said, okay, I'm ready to get my stuff, and I want to use the forklift to disassemble some of the things that I bought. One of which is a huge gantry crane, which is bigger than the one that I currently have. And some of the parts of that are actually behind the forklift. You can see this yellow A-frame thing right there. That's parts of a huge gantry crane, and then this is the I-beam for it. There was 2 I-beams, which were freaking heavy. But so some of the terms of these online auctions is you need to get your stuff out of there, like literally the next day. You've got or literally within the next 2 days. You've got 1 day to pay with a wire. They don't even want checks because checks can bounce. And then the next day after the wire money is cleared, you have to get your stuff out of there the next day. But they said, oh, but 1 week later for the forklift. So I show up to disassemble with a friend of mine, and I got some footage of this. This huge A-frame, which was completely assembled. I mean, it's a 3-ton gantry A-frame, and it had like a 3-ton electric winch, which I'll show you here in a second as well. And it was all like 12 feet in the sky. So you really needed a forklift to basically hold this, I don't know, probably 700-pound I-beam 12 feet up as you unbolt the left and right side of this gantry crane to safely bring the I-beam down. So I show up and I was like, okay, I'm ready to use the forklift. And the guy goes, oh, I don't know if we have a key for that. And no one started it. So I was like, uh-oh. And I was wondering, I asked him, does it work? And he goes, I have no idea. So I was like, ooh, that's a problem. And so I was like, so you're not using it to move stuff around? And he goes, no, I don't know what the auctioneer was saying. It's a late pickup. He didn't, anyway, there was poor communication. So I was really getting worried that I just bought a 12,000 pound steel brick. So after talking with the guy some more and having him call his people, finally, a representative of the defunct company was there, and he found the key for the forklift, and we go and try to turn it on, and it's completely dead. There's just no activity at all. So over the next day and a half, I basically went into bush fix mode and did my own surgery on the forklift to get it to come to life. And it was, and I've got a lot of footage of that, so we can check that out. Right, I'm here at the auction and picking up some of my loot. All of these carts I got, plus this 2,000 pound scissor lift. Then this huge gantry crane with this 3-ton chain hoist here. Got to figure out how to get this disassembled, because that I-beam is not light, neither is that hoist. Then we got this forklift where the charger is dead, and it's an electric forklift. This is the charger they had, but it just flashes air. So hopefully the battery pack is still good. It's a lead acid battery forklift. That's never a good sign with crust. But this thing doesn't charge up and move. It's going to cost a lot more to move it out of here. Anyway, live auction. I also got this steel table with vise for $10 plus contents. We can talk about the contents back at the shop, but pretty good deal on the contents on the bottom shelf. And then this table over here I got too. Not the stuff on top, but the bottom part. All right, so I also want all the contents of this shelf and all the contents of this shelf and everything around it. And then this wire rack here, where I've already pulled most of the spools of wire off. But yeah, this whole thing, I think I paid like 50 bucks for all of it. Pretty good deal. And I assume like, well, the guy even said, you want this sweeper? I was like, okay, I'll take it. Anyway, everything must go. There's some good stuff up here. A bunch of hardware. All right, I got a quick update here. This is the next day at the auction pickup. You can see the forklift has moved. It's now here. Except the thing is the rigging company who was hired to move the mill that someone else bought, this is a Haas VF2 mill, basically picked this forklift up from inside and dropped it outside and then left it outside. So I've been working on getting the thing to turn on, and This is the battery pack, and it's kind of low on water. So let's look in here. I was actually filling this one, but if we look down inside, yeah, if you look in there, basically there is no water in the battery. This is an array of multiple batteries that makes a 48 volt power supply pack for this forklift. So if you look at the next water filling port here, it's completely dry inside. You can see the lead plates are exposed or not submerged underwater. So you kind of need the acidic dielectric to be there for the battery to work. And so far I've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 gallons of distilled water, and I need to get another 5 gallons more of distilled water to stick in here so that the battery charger even knows that this is a battery it's connected to. And the fan is now running. I tested it after I put in the 7 gallons of water and reset the charger, and it actually said, oh, there's a battery on my output. So it actually recognized and is now charging up the battery. So I need to finish filling the center bunch here. But yeah, so the forklift is looking like it may actually live and doesn't need a new battery immediately, at least. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm doing a little midnight mission here to check on the forklift. I need to know if the forklift is going to charge enough tonight to be able to roll onto a tow truck in the morning under its own power, or do they need to actually hoist it up onto the back of a flatbed. So yeah, we're gonna give it a try and see if I can start this and have it do anything. Yeah, the little fan is still running. It's still indicating that it's charging. Pull it out. This is the battery charger I bought from Amazon overnight delivery. Still got some warmth to it, so I think it's doing something. Alright, so I'm going to unplug the battery charger, and it's, got a cable going under their door. At least they were courteous enough to provide power. So, unplug this thing. Yeah, that's right. I need the light for a second. Yeah. All right, plugged in. I did remember the key. There we go. All right, got some activity over here on the display. key from here. Alright, I got the cell phone light on. So I made a discovery that I had to pull the steering column forward from the battery working position, and now it's telling me to turn on or put my seatbelt on. And I got this minus 16, so if I pull the key out, oh, it's telling me the parking brake is off. So I turn the parking brake on, and I put the key in, and I turn it, and then I'm seeing activity over here telling me the parking brake is on and my seatbelt is not in, and I've got a 16 here. Hopefully that means I got 16 minutes of life left. So let me, oh, but then I'm going to put the seatbelt on. I wonder if there's something I'm missing. I don't know if the backlight works. Anyway, well, that's promising. I guess I'll keep charging it overnight. Turn the brake back on, pull the key out. All right. Well, I guess I'll find out in the morning if this thing is actually going to run or not.
Here we are at the building. Here's Mr. Dragonfly is going to start his forklift.
I had to put 10 gallons of water in the battery. Went to the Safeway twice.
Let's go. Daughter waiting on a dime.
Oh, what do I do with the key?
Oh, for God's sakes. They're in the ignition.
No, it's not there.
Oh, gosh. Okay, you YouTubers who are watching this, this is how I get so impatient.
Where is that key?
Let's see, it's not there.
Oh, here it is.
Oh. Let's go, Joe Boo.
The key to the new car right here. The seatbelt clasp takes a little bit out of your hand every time. It's got like a hook on
I
it.
don't think the seatbelt's a requirement.
Probably not.
Can we just,
No, I can't get it to work.
or can we just keep going here?
What the hell? It worked yesterday. Oh, did I get it backwards? Oh, there we go. New driver. Ah, that's a good sound. The motor turned on. All right. Brake is off. Going in reverse.
Oh my God, it's moving.
Watch my butt.
Hey, don't run over the extension cord.
Uh-oh. Here, can you move that?
No, you're already on it, so just keep going.
No, the dolly. I gotta spin this thing around.
So tell us exactly what you're gonna do.
Attempt to spin this around and load that thing into the trailer. I guess I'm gonna swing your way.
You should go up forward. This is good. You're on the cord, dude.
Well, oh yeah, well, can you unplug that cord?
You gotta do everything around here.
Oh, this thing spins on a dime.
You can keep going back. Hey, hook it the other way. Go back. Back. Hard. No, turn hard.
I'm just clearing
Oh, for God's sakes.
the ladder. Someone put a ladder in the way.
We got a call from April coming in.
Hopefully that's adjustable. There we go. Alright, I'm going to tilt it back.
Not gonna be able to lift that whole thing. I'm gonna have to bail you out as usual.
Move forward. You might have to adjust it.
Okay, come on in.
Alright, move forward.
Yeah. Keep coming, keep coming.
That's as far as I can go.
No, go up,
I
go
can
up,
lift it more.
go up. Okay, keep coming. You got 6 inches.
Well, I'm going to bend the gate.
You're not gonna even hit the gate.
I'm
6
on the
inches.
gate now.
6 inches.
Oh, okay.
Gosh.
Got it? There we go. Down. Oh, the wheel's locked. We need a Johnson bar.
What happened?
The front wheel's locked into the gap there.
All right, go up.
Oh, okay.
Go up. I gotta stop filming.
Kind of hard to see your load.
Okay, we're not gonna get anything done ever because we're filming.
Watch this turning.
Keep going, keep going.
Nice.
Hold that. Okay.
Check out the side shift. Well, that's nice. I heard some gush in the oil though.
Sounds like it needs hydraulic fluid.
Yeah. Guess this cable's kind of-
That's good. Whoop, hold that. Go up. Center of the beam. You need to back up. Are you in the center of the beam?
I don't know. We can always move the beam around too.
No, you need to go left.
What?
Back up and get in the center of the beam. I'll move the hoist.
Oh, okay.
Come down. Hold that. All right.
Ooh, the battery is starting to drop. Alright, you going forward?
Actually, just go up first. You're not gonna. You got.
Go past the,
You got to back up. Back up and straddle it.
Can't see anything behind this mask.
That's good.
Am I clear?
Up. Hold that. All right. Go up. Watch your lights. Lights. All right, up. Hold that. All right, come and bolt it.
I need to plug this thing in.
Oh, so Dave, tell us about your first ride. You know,
The handle's nice, but it's definitely low on oil.
just like a race car, huh?
Sounds like it's pushing oil foam through the cylinders. Move forward.
Oh, so Dave, can you give us a little tutorial of what's been going on?
A whole lot of dysfunction. But we got the A-frame down. In the trailer. Now we're going to pick up this huge hoist.
Keep coming, keep coming. Come in, come in, come in, come in. In. Tilt back. Good.
All right, coming up.
Roll it up.
All right, that'll work. Okay, come back.
Hey, hard. Hard.
Oh, there's a ladder in there.
No, you didn't turn it hard enough.
I'm going to smash the ladder. Look at that ladder there.
You're not listening.
I don't need to listen. Check out this turn radius.
Let's go. Dollar waiting on a dime.
That's good stuff.
Where do you want to put it?
I guess just right there, at the back of the. I need fork extensions on this thing.
Oh, there's some over there. We can grab them.
Really?
There's some 2x4, 2x8s, 2x6s.
What, like wood?
No, steel.
Oh, actual real fork extensions.
No, I think they were gonna make them as fork extensions.
Oh yeah. All right. So we're packing up everything, all sorts of good stuff. We're gonna load the van now. The forklift works. It's a big relief.
Here we are. Dave's collecting crap.
Look at these nice plants. I got my new cat and all these tables for free. For getting them. These computer cases I'll probably leave behind. But all right, we're at the point where the stuff's either going in my van or it's going in that dump truck right there. So we're gonna get as much free stuff as we can here.
Give it to Ryan.
Sure.
You guys can throw them back at me.
I guess all that's just garbage.
What's this? Is this yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, maybe not. Oh, we need these plants though.
Here's Dave driving. I have no idea where he's going. I don't think he even knows where he's doing.
I don't know, I don't. I just put my seatbelt on. Ah, look at that cornering. I don't want to smack Bill, so.
Bring it up.
All right, coming up.
Hold that. Hold that. Tilt forward. Okay.
All right, come down.
Yeah.
Coming down easy. Is it gonna catch
You're good.
over there?
You're good.
Boy, forklifts are easy at moving stuff.
Can you repeat that? I don't think our
Forklifts are
viewers
easy.
heard that.
Okay. Alright, so we are going to load our forklift onto the tow truck, Unique Towing in Santa Clara, and take it back to Dragonfly Engineering. Those guys are still loading more tables. But once we filled up, or once I filled up all of the battery cells with enough water to at least submerge the lead plates, and I got advice from my dad, who's a old school electronics super technician. Anyway, he filled me in on these lead plates need to be under the electrolyte, and of course, in retrospect, that's kind of obvious. But yeah, we got it working, and I was able to use it to disassemble the massive gantry crane that I purchased, and move all of the other loot that I got. So we could start talking about the loot. I may switch to the cell phone at this point so that I can just show you the sheer mass of loot. But I guess I could describe the situation basically as the days kept going on after the auction, you could start to see that some people never paid or came to pick up their items. And the liquidation guy had so much extra stuff, and this fully functioning, like, well outfitted technical startup company that was working with robots and basically the same kind of stuff I do. He had to get rid of everything in the building. Like, it all had to go. So at the beginning of when I was filming coming on site, I was a little worried about taking some video of stuff because I was like, oh, this is someone's property and it's proprietary, and I don't want to get in trouble by filming someone else's stuff. But by the end of the couple of days experience, basically the liquidator told me that everything that I was worried about filming is mine now, because it's either mine or it's going to go in the dumpster or a dump truck that rolled up in front of the building. So it was kind of like a fire sale. It was like he had people grabbing thousands and thousands of dollars of lab gear and hardware and throwing them into this dump truck, while I was racing around trying to grab the same lab gear and thousands of dollars of hardware and tools and equipment and wire and racks of wire and lab benches and everything. I mean, just like office equipment, computer monitors. I didn't take any of the computers, but the computer desks, the chairs, the plants, the coffee maker, the liquor. They had bottles of liquor everywhere, which it could be a contributing factor to the fact that they were up for sale. But anyway, that's a different interpretation. Anyway, so I got a few bottles of liquor because it was just going to go in the dump. And I actually did some dumpster diving. I looked in the dumpster in the back and found a complete, like hardware drawer, of small screws, the little plastic drawers you can pull out. Well, someone had taken a huge one and just threw the whole thing into the dumpster, all with the socket cap head screws in it, like from, M3, I think it was actually English, so 256 all the way up to 1/4-inch screws. Like a whole array would probably weighed 50 pounds of hardware. They just threw it in the dumpster and I grabbed it. So yeah, it was basically just a frenzy of getting all of this stuff for free because otherwise it was going to go to the dump that day. So let's walk around and check out some of the loot that I got. All right, so the Volkswagen thing is kind of getting kind of smothered with all this stuff. But this table here and that electronics table there, and then there's a few solid steel tables in the back. Where another funny thing was, you know, I bought those tables for $10 each, and the auction was a table plus contents. So the table was full of lab gear, like ultrasonic not ultrasonic welders, but ultrasonic cleaning baths, part washing baths, and a bunch of other stuff that I got, basically because it was considered and contents of the table. Here's a whole bunch of hardware that I got. This is aluminum framing, usually called 80-20, and it's these extrusions of aluminum that are real handy for building out stuff. Yeah, this is just all of this hardware. You know, like each one of these is like $5 on McMaster Car, which you can still see their McMaster Car bags. And yeah, all of these are like $2 each, and it's pounds and pounds of 80-20 hardware. This is a corner cube, you know, so it goes on the corner. It's for a bigger size than this one. And then over here is just wire. You know, I bought a wire rack, and it had all the wire on it. So there's just, you know, probably 150 pounds of just wire I got of various gauges and configurations. This is a parts washer. Let's see here if I can open this. Still with cleaning fluid in it. But anyway, there's a pump in here, and then, you know, you use this brush to clean off your parts, and then it kind of recirculates cleaning fluid. And that was with contents. This was the contents of one of the tables that I bought. And then there's this 2,000-pound scissor lift, which was used to basically just haul all the loot out. And yeah, 2,000 pounds Optimus. I think these run for like 4,000 bucks. This blue thing. And this is the A-frame that I bought with the 3-ton electric hoist, and I think I paid like $300 for the A-frame, as well as their extended I-beam, which is this rusty one, and then the original I-beam, which is this one. So I got to put this all back together again. And then with also these they call them die lifts, but these are like, you know, foot or dollies where you can jack up the base. I got a couple of those. So here's that battery charger that they had for the forklift. This is the ultrasonic cleaner that was considered and contents for the table that I bought. So this has got to be a couple $1,000 bucks. It's like a lab grade one, not an Amazon special. This is the 3-ton electric hoist with its chain bag. I do have a couple of substantial steel molds, and my 600-pound capacity hoist, which I originally got for just aluminum molds, can't quite cut it, but I think this thing will handle it. It's a 3-ton capacity, and it's gonna roll on those I-beams and that A-frame that I showed you. And then so we got this, I think I paid $100 for this welding fixture table. And of course, you know, like for instance, this indicator with a hydraulic flex arm was considered and contents as well for this table. And then just, yeah, there was just bins and bins of lab stuff. Like this is a solder sucker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a solder sucker, but you put that tip down on solder that you've just reflowed, and you hit this button, and it sucks the solder up inside of there. So again, just just tons of stuff, more wire. This is all from that company. They had a lot of these paper towel holders, and yeah, just hardware. In here is tables. A lot of their office, I basically just grabbed. These are little motors that will raise and lower the table up and down. Got these chairs. Oh, they're in the distance. I guess I probably won't show, but that little picture frame there is the people who worked at that company. You know, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep their holiday picture or not. But anyway, those are them right there. Yeah, there's more tables. We used trash cans mostly just to haul electronic equipment out. You know, this is a motor controller complete, and that they 3D printed some of it. Camera gear, just tons of everything. I don't even know what half of it is. A lot of computer gear, speakers. Again, here's another trash can full of equipment, office related computer networking stuff. And then more, I think this was the trash can that I used just to grab a whole bunch of keyboards. And more routers. And then all of this. So this was all free. It's like I was racing the workers who were throwing all of this stuff in the dump. And yeah, so we can check out more of the goodies in the back. There's more of this in the other side of the shop, but I guess I don't have to show everything. Yeah, here's, you know, just bins of automation stuff. This is like, I'll have to look into what this control, oh, an Allen Bradley controller. So this would interface with one of my robots and be a programmable logic controller, or PLC. And yeah, I got to figure out what all this stuff is, but it's all like thousands of dollars. And then just endless amounts of stuff, which I still need to go through a lot of it. Yeah, just connections, plugs. Like that plug these days, if you buy that at Home Depot, is about $60. And then just, yeah, just endless amounts of things. There's probably a dial indicator in here. More wire. Got the rack, the wire rack here. Just boxes of hardware. Just the ubiquitous McMaster car, you know, boxes of screws. There's tons of this. And then, yeah, some of this is custom fixtures. Some of it I don't know. So I got to go through it all and then decide what's scrap or what's resellable. I might eBay a lot of it, and we'll see. There's just more stuff here. There's a lot of power supplies, or not power supplies, but power cords. More hardware. Lots more wire everywhere. And down in here is a vacuum bucket. You know, so this is a vacuum seal, and then underneath all their epoxies and things is the actual vacuum pump, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, there it is. Again, trash cans are very useful in these auction clear out fire sales. You know, because you run out of containers just to grab all of the stuff. And then, yeah, just endless amounts of things. More hardware. It seemed like each engineer had their own little workstation or kit that they were kind of specialized in. Oh yeah, and in tech startups, there's the 5-minute epoxy mixing station. Everybody has one of these. I worked at a company once where it was popsicle sticks and business cards of people who got fired or quit or got laid off. Their business cards would take the place of these fancy epoxy mixing bins. But yeah, this is, everyone has the epoxy station. So I think I could. Let's take a quick look at the forklift. So this is definitely going to be helpful. I'm sure it's been traded several times. You can see that the forklift tines themselves definitely have some pitting and rust on them. So this thing, I'm sure, has sat outside for a while. I think it does need some TLC. I think it needs hydraulic oil, for instance. And the tires are pretty good. And I did buy this battery charger because I didn't know if the other one worked or not, which added to the angst. And when I was trying to see if that other one that I showed you earlier worked, the little fuse holder broke in it. So I was like, uh-oh, I need to. So I bought this from Amazon overnight. It's a 48 volt like golf cart charger, but it charged up the battery, so that was good. I got some footage of that. Then again, there's just just still piles of stuff. Like here's some fixture that somebody made, but these hold downs are handy. And again, more wire, USB. A lot of there was a lot of these USB-C to USB cables everywhere. And here's another like a lift platform. They called these die lifts for something. Anyway, you pump it up and it works. Yeah. Anyway, so this was the loot or the haul from. Oh, and I got these two cabinets. So I gotta organize this whole place, and this forklift is going to be a key factor in getting all of this stuff basically packed up here on these shelves. And I got to build out the rest of the shelving, which you can see here, and obviously get the gantry crane over the two-shot molding machine where it's going to be lifting heavier and heavier molds. Okay, well, that's what I've been up to the last few weeks, and I should be back to 100% here, and I've got a whole lot of straightening up and cleaning up to do here, but I should be back to normal episode production, ideally at least something every week or so. So stay tuned for more Dragonfly Engineering, and thanks for watching. See ya.